Okay. Hello, Wintergreen family, and welcome to Yoga, Meditation, and Mobility with Mike and David. This is my dad. He's going to be helping us out today, and he's going to be demonstrating some of the postures or asana that we perform. So to begin, we're going to start in Tadasana or mountain pose. There's two ways you can start this. The first way is going to be hips distance apart. You're going to get a little bit more stability this way. Or if you want to find a traditional pose, you can bring your feet together. And from here, go ahead and plug the shoulders back down to their sockets away from the ears. Go ahead and activate the hands and the fingertips. Feel like a steel rod is running through your spine. And let's start to warm up our neck. So you can relax your hands and then just start to lower down and then just go side to side, left and right. Not going higher than the shoulders, nice and slow. And then if it's feeling good, you can start to bring that gaze towards the sidewall, up towards the ceiling, back around, maybe just going to that left shoulder and then right shoulder. And if you're feeling really good, try to go all the way down, back to where we started, and then make that full revolution. And let's come back to center and start to work on the shoulders. So to begin, we're going to do shoulder rolls going forward. And reverse your direction, go the other way.
Get a lot of crinkles, a lot of cracks.
Oh yeah. Getting the joints warmed up and lubricated here. Then come back to center. Now let's start to work on the chest and the back. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and round those shoulders forward. And then open the chest, try to touch the back, the scapula together. Forward and back. Forward and back. Let's do one more. And go ahead and come back to center. Now we're going to work on those wrists. So to begin, just start to roll the wrists out. Doesn't matter which way you start. Just trying to roll them around. And then reverse your direction, go the other way. And release back down to center. Next, we're going to go ahead and warm up the balance a little bit. So we're going to place 80% of our weight on the left leg. And then just raise that right knee up. Maybe touch the knee to the hand. And we'll do the other side. If you're having a little trouble with balance, just go ahead and pause the video, move over to a wall or some other object that's going to support you, and then use that. And just going back and forth, taking your time, maybe going faster, maybe slower than us. One more on each side. And come back to center. And next we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to open the knee up. So this way we're going to really start to open up that hip flexor, beginning to go that way. So go ahead and lift it up. You can close it, open it, lift it up, close it, open it, lift it up, close, open, lift it up. And one more time each side, lift it up. Close, open, lift it up. Very good. And now we're going to go ahead and warm up the knees. So for the knees, what we're going to do is just put our hands on our hips and just slowly start to bend forward so that you can feel a little bit of strain on the ankles. And then from here, just start to make some circles. Doesn't matter if you're going clockwise or counterclockwise. You're just slowly starting to make some circles, warming up the knees and the ankles. And then you can change directions. If this is really easy, then you could bring your feet together, bring your hands down to your shins, and really lean onto those ankles. Maybe the ankles come up and off of the mat. And change your direction if you haven't already. And let's come back up to center. Next, we have our ankles purely. So we're going to go ahead and lift up that right leg just slightly, and then start to roll that ankle out. Go ahead and reverse your direction. And relax. Come to the other side. Go ahead and lift that left foot and start to roll it out. And reverse your direction. And relax. Now we're going to come down to all fours in our tabletop position. So go ahead and come down here. Walk the knees in a little closer to the hands so you feel comfortable. And we'll start with some cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, raise the gaze, arch the back for cow. Exhale, lower the gaze, arch the back the other way for cat. Inhale, raise. Exhale, lower. And just start to follow the pace of your own breath. Maybe close your eyes. Every time you inhale, you lift. Every time you exhale, you lower down. And slowly come back to center. Next, we'll activate our balance a little bit more. So we'll inhale, raise that right arm to the sky, thumb is facing up. Exhale, bring it back down. Push your left leg directly behind you as if plugging it into the back wall.
I want to go this way.
Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, raise that left arm up, thumbs facing up. Exhale, lower. Push the right leg directly behind you as if pulling it into the back wall. Exhale, bring it back down. And from here, in our tabletop position, we're going to go ahead and take a little break. We're going to find child's pose. So go ahead, start to bring your glutes to your heels. You might want to open the knees up a little bit wide, about max distance apart, and then rest your forehead down on the mat. Now this is a nice posture just to refine your breath. If at any time you feel like you want to take a little break, want to refine the breath, grab some water, always feel free to come down to your child's pose. You can even just pause the video, come down to your child's pose, and then rejoin us again when you're ready. So now from child's pose, we're going to turn our toes under, bring our sit bones to the sky, and find downward facing dog. So notice I'm going to turn my toes under here. I'm going to slowly straighten my legs, maybe walking my feet in a little closer to the hands. I'm creating a nice V shape between my legs and my torso. Most of my weight is on my index fingers and thumbs. And I want to feel like my hips are being pulled straight up into the sky. Let's go ahead and bend the right knee. Straighten the right knee, bend the left. Straighten the left, bend the right. And just start to pedal your feet back and forth, maybe faster, maybe slower than me. And then come back to center in our downward facing dog. We're going to slowly step our right foot in between our hands, 1, 2, or 3 steps. It doesn't matter how many steps it takes to get up there. And then step that left foot up to meet it. Again, 1, 2, or 3 steps. And we're just going to hang out here. This is Uttanasana or forward fold. So I want you to see my dad here. You can notice the knees are bent. They don't have to be straight. He's just going to go ahead and let himself hang. Maybe he's holding his elbows. Maybe his palms are down here on the mat. But the idea is he just wants gravity to kind of pull from the crown of his head down. And now he's going to find his half flat back, so he's going to rest his hands on his shins, create 90 degrees between the legs and the torso. We've got a nice 90-degree shape here, pushing through the crown of the head. Now he'll exhale, release back down. This is our Uttanasana, or forward fold. And next he's going to reverse swan dive. His arms can come wide or they can come forwards, and he's going to come to a full standing position. And in this position, he's going to go ahead and clasp his hands together. It might be a little bit hard to see, but he's going to clasp his hands together like this, but just facing up. And he's going to side bend to his left. So notice he starts to just slightly go. He doesn't want to go down too far. He wants to keep a long side body. And then back to center. And then he'll side bend to the right. Again, keeping that long side body. And then back to center. I'm going to rotate him again because we're going to do our Sun Salute A, Surya Namaskar A. So he'll exhale. He's going to swan dive all the way down to Uttanasana, forward fold. And then he'll inhale, come to 90 degrees, half flat back. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Now he's going to step his right foot back 1, 2, or 3 steps. It doesn't matter. And then he's going to step his left foot back to meet it. Again, 1, 2, or 3 steps. Now I'm going to bring him down to his knees for a modification. Right, this is going to help us because we're going to do this sequence repeatedly. So now he's going to let his elbows pinch to the sides, almost like a military push-up. He's going to slowly lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Now from here, he's going to go onto the tops of the feet. So he was like this, and now he's going to have the tops of the feet down, and he's going to slightly push himself up. He's going to really try to not use his hands, but just raise himself up with his back to a cobra position. And then he'll exhale, come back down. Now he'll turn his toes under, so we're not on the tops of the feet. Now we're turning those toes under. He's going to bring his sit bones to the sky and find downward facing dog. Again, maybe walking those feet in a little closer to the hands. Don't worry if your heels don't make connection with the mat. They can be slightly up. It takes a while for them to make that connection. Now he'll step his right foot in between his hands, 1, 2, or 3 steps. Left foot up to meet it. And he's in forward fold or Uttanasana. Notice how he's a little bit more bent forward, right? You can see that chest is a little bit closer to the quads. You might want to nod his head yes, shake his head no. That's going to release any tension in the head or neck. Now he'll find his half flat back, going to 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come wide or go forward, doesn't matter which. Maybe he takes a mini back bend, his gaze goes to the ceiling. Now he'll exhale, forward fold, swan diving down. Half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Step back the left foot, 1, 2, or 3 steps. And then the right foot as well, 1, 2, or 3 steps. Now, last time we did a modification, we came to the knees. If you need to stay there, nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and listen to your body. But I want to show you guys the full expression if it feels good today. So now he's going to let his elbows pinch to the side, slowly lower down into what we call Shadowrun Asana. It's like a military push-up. Notice how he's hovering over the ground and the elbows are in nice and close. Now he's going to slide on the tops of his feet. He's going to bring his chest up. He's going to open his shoulders, draw the shoulders down to upward facing dog. Now he'll turn his toes under, bring the sit bones to the sky, and find downward facing dog, making those micro adjustments. That's it. And one thing you want to think about is you want to think about length all the way through to the top of the head. Now you don't want that rounding. You want it to be as straight as possible. And from here, he'll step his left foot up. Right foot comes up to meet it. Again, 1, 2, or 3 steps. He's hanging out here in forward fold. Inhale, he reverse swan dives. oh no, half flat back, sorry. He's gonna find 90 degrees, come to his half flat back, push him to the crown, and then he's gonna come down to forward fold. And the reason that is really important in the sequence is because we want to avoid a head rush, right? If you're coming up too fast, then you're gonna get that head rush to your brain. So go ahead and bring the arms up, forwards or to the sides, mini back bend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back, step the right foot back, 1, 2, or 3 steps. Come to your knees if you need, otherwise he's going to slow lower, elbows pinch the sides. Inhale, sliding onto the tops of the feet, opening up the chest, upward facing dog. Turn the toes under, bring the sit bones to the sky, and find downward facing dog. And we'll do one more iteration here. So he's going to inhale, step that right foot up. Stepping the left foot up to meet it. Hanging out here in Uttanasana, forward fold. 90 degrees, half flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms come wide, mini back bend. Exhale, forward fold, touch your toes. Inhale, half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Now he steps that right foot back, steps the left foot back. Coming to the knees if you need, elbows pinch to side, slow lower, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this is our Surya Namaskar A. We're going to move into Surya Namaskar B. So this is a good time if you want to catch your breath to find your child's pose, or even downward facing dog is a resting posture as well. So from downward facing dog now, I'm going to have him inhale and raise the right leg to the sky. So his right leg is going to push all the way up. Now he's going to bring his right foot in between his hands. Doesn't matter how many steps he needs to get it, but nice and slow and controlled. And now he's going to turn his back foot to about a 45-degree angle. So it's going to look kind of like this, or you can kind of see it. He brought his foot up a little closer, and he's going to raise his arms up. He's going to find Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. Now notice he doesn't have a 90-degree angle in that front right leg. Nothing wrong with that. Eventually we're going to get there. But what happens is, go ahead and start to bend down towards that 90 degrees, but don't change the back foot. Notice that the heel starts to lift up. It really starts to lift up the closer it goes to 90. So instead, he's just going to go down to where he feels comfortable and keep that connection. Very important to keep the connection. Now he's going to go ahead and take his right hand and put it around his left hip. That's it. And then he's going to take his left hand and push his left hip to square up with the right. So now his hips are neutral or square. Once he has that good alignment, he can raise his arms back up to full expression. This is our Warrior 1. And eventually what's going to happen is this is going to be a little wider, and it's going to come more towards a 90-degree angle, almost like a Warrior 2. Now he'll step his left foot up to meet his right. And this time I'm going to have him use a block, right? And you don't have to have one of these blocks. You could just grab something that will suffice. Go ahead and pause the video and just grab an object that will help you. And I'm going to have him put it right in front of his feet. So I'm going to have him actually step back a little bit. That's it. So it can be in a nice position. Now we're going to have him inhale, raise the arms up. And we're going to have him sit into Bootcut Asana or chair. So you can slowly sit on that imaginary chair or stool. We want him to tighten the abs. We want him to make a micro adjustment by tucking the pelvis. So he tucks that pelvis. He's got to drop the shoulders down away from the ears. It might help to go a little bit wider. That's it. And now I'm going to have him sit a little lower. Now from here, he's going to bring his hands down to prayer. And he's going to lower that left palm down onto the block. He'll inhale, extend through the crown of the head. Again, try to keep that back nice and straight. And then he'll exhale, raise that right arm up to the sky for a twist. Now we'll switch hands, so he'll lower that right palm down on the block. Inhale, extend through the crown of the head, and exhale, raise the left arm to the sky. Notice how he really wants to open the left side chest. And he'll slowly lower that left palm down. He's going to move his block out of the way, or whatever object you use, and he's just going to hang down there in Uttanasana or forward fold. And he'll find half flat back, 90 degrees. Remember, resting the hands on the shins, shooting forward with that back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, taking his time to avoid that head rush. Come up to full standing, mini back bend. And from there, he's going to forward fold, swan dive down. Half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back, step the right foot back, come down to the knees if you need, elbows pinch the sides, slow lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Turn onto the tops of the feet, make that slide, come up to upward facing dog, and then turn the toes under, bring your sit bones to the sky, and find downward facing dog. And this time we're going to step the right foot in between the hands, inhale, raise the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring that left foot in between the hands, 1, 2, or 3 steps, and then step the right foot up to about a 45-degree angle. So all he did was he stepped it up a little bit, kept it at that 45, and then he's going to raise up to Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. So he'll raise his arms. All right, so now we're going to take care of those hips. So we're going to have him bring his left hand around and resting on the outside of that right hip. And then his right hand is going to come down and just push that right hip forward. Once he's squared up, he's going to bring his arms back up. He's going to relax those shoulders, maybe go a little bit lower in that left front quad. And from here, we're going to have him step that right foot up to meet the left. He grabs his block, places it as tall as can be here. And we'll find chair pose or Utkatasana. So from Tadasana, he can just start to come to that squatting position. His arms are up. He's going to tuck his pelvis. He wants to broaden those shoulders, lower them down. We'll have him come down a little bit more. Now he'll bring his hands to heart center. He's going to drop that left palm down on the block. Inhale, extend through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist the right arm open to the sky. And we'll switch sides so that right palm goes down. Centers on the block. Inhale, extend through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist open to the left. And exhale, release. He comes back down. He moves that block out of the way, hangs out there in Uttanasana or forward fold. Then he'll find half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms come wide, take that mini back bend. Exhale, forward fold, touch your toes. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back, step the right foot back. Elbows pinch the sides, slow lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg to the sky behind you. Place your right foot in between your hands, 1, 2, or 3 steps. Make that adjustment with that left back leg, and then raise up to Warrior 1. Now we're going to internally rotate the hips now. Just go ahead and start to rotate it without the help of the hands. Now we're going to talk about the hand placement. So traditional yoga, the palms are going to come together. But what happens is the shoulders start to ride up towards the ears. So better to go a little wider, plug the shoulders into their sockets, and it's almost like you've got this imaginary beach ball. Now we'll have him step the left foot up to his right, and then come down into chair. Notice how he's bringing his hands to heart center in prayer. This is just a little bit of an easier place to rest your hands. So if you find that heart rate is really high, it's just very uncomfortable, nothing wrong with coming down to the hands in prayer. Now I'll have him sit a little lower. Next, he's going to keep his hands in prayer, and he's going to twist to his right and hook that left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Notice he's going to extend through the crown of the head and open up that chest. Now he'll come back to center. Now we're going to go the other way, this time to the left side, with that right elbow on the left quad. And then he'll come back to center. We'll have him rest to forward fold. Half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms come wide, mini back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Now he'll step his left foot back. Right foot comes back to meet it. Let's have him come down to his knees, just as a reminder that you have this option. We'll have him let his elbows pinch to the side, slow lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, knees are down. Exhale, lowering down, and come to downward facing dog. All right, last time for a sun salute B here. So he'll inhale, raise that left leg to the sky behind him. Exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, 1, 2, or 3 steps. He steps up that right back foot to about a 45-degree angle and raises his arms up to Virabhadrasana 1. Now he's going to internally rotate that right hip forward and remembering the shoulders and the hands, right? So we can go a little wider. It's even sometimes helpful to come to goalpost arms if you really feel those shoulders are tight. And next, he'll step that right foot up to meet the left. Maybe he goes right into chair, right? Always an option. Or you're going to just find your Tadasana and then come to your chair. And again, notice how he's bringing those hands down to lower that heart rate. Now he'll make sure he's got to tuck his pelvis. And he's going to lower down a little more. And now he'll go ahead and twist to the right. He's going to hook that left elbow on the right quad here. Inhale, he extends through the crown of the head, and then exhale, starts to open the chest. Back to center. Now he'll twist to the left side, hooking that right elbow on the left quad. And then back to center. And he'll release down, touching the toes. Half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, nice and slow. And then touching the toes, forward fold. Half flat back, 90 degrees. Exhale, forward fold. Now he'll step that left foot back, step that right foot back. Elbows pinch to side, slow lower, Chaturanga Dandasana, come into the knees if you need. Now he'll slide to upward facing dog. And then come back to downward facing dog. And then we're just going to have him take a break. We're going to come down to child's pose. So he's coming down to the knees. Open those knees about max distance apart. And then just resting the forehead down, reaching through the fingertips, and then just completely letting go and relaxing the front side of the body. So that's our Surya Namaskar A and B, Sun Salute A and B. Those are great sequences to wake you up in the morning. Notice how we did a little mobility work before we jumped into it. So always good to get the joints warmed up first, but then move into your Sun Salute A and B. And at the end of every yoga practice, it's always good to find a Shavasana, a child's pose, a meditation. And that's what you're seeing now here is all of the benefits of the postures that we practiced today are being absorbed by resting in this posture. So he's breathing deeply, he's bringing his heart rate back down, and he's starting to absorb all those benefits. So stay here as long as you like, yogis. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. We hope to see you the next time that we meet. Have a great day.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.